Welcome to Whiskey and RPGs. My name is Solomon SK, and thank you for tuning in for another episode of MMO and RPG News Roundup. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you guys know that I haven't done a Toast of the Day for a very long time, but I know a lot of you have grown up with the original Resident Evil games back in the 90s, and today I wanted to raise my cup to Paul Haddad, who passed away, unfortunately, about 2 days ago. And if you didn't know, he is the person who was the voice actor for the original Resident Evil 2 game for Leon Kennedy. So just wanted to say thank you for all the memories, rest in peace, and I honestly hope you're in a better place. So thank you, Paul. I hope everybody out there is having a tolerable Monday. Since we got a lot of news to cover, I hope you guys got your glasses or cups ready with your beverage of choice, and let's cover the news together. Cheers again, everyone. So for the first bit of news, we head on over to MMORPG.com. Eternal Magic now on Steam. Goes on to read, while starting out on Steam, you'll be able to join players on the Andromeda server, which is the European server, and Sagittarius, which is the North American server. If you had previously added Eternal Magic to your wish list on Steam, you should be receiving your present shortly. And as you can see here, there's a list of different goodies you get just for having it on your wish list. But that's pretty interesting, though, because this is typically something developers do if you pre-order a game, or perhaps even purchase one of the higher tier packages of a game before release. But no, you get all this stuff just for adding it to your wish list, which I think is pretty cool, honestly, for better or for worse. But anyways, it goes on to read, Eternal Magic may sound familiar to some of you due to it being accused last year of ripping off Guild Wars 2, World of Warcraft, and Smite. There were several posts on Reddit showing screenshots of Eternal Magic and Guild Wars 2 and comparing the PvP modes in both. Similarities in skill icons were also shown. That I didn't know, and I definitely wouldn't support a game if it blatantly plagiarized others. Either way, with its faults, I'm still willing to give it a shot. If we head on over to their Steam page, out of 72, it has a mixed review. I mean, could be better, but I guess it could be worse too. It is a free-to-play MMORPG, has action combat. I believe that's what that tag is for, which is also massively multiplayer as well. Now, this is a story that I really wanted to lead off with and make this my thumbnail picture and everything, but I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Copa. It turned out not to be this big apocalyptic thing that everybody thought it would be. Maybe for a few channels out there, maybe it was because, you know, they were maybe a Lego building channel or something like that. So I didn't know how that fits in with the whole Disney thing. But in any event, I just want to let you know that Disney Mirrorverse, Netmarble teasing a new mobile title based on Disney characters, and this is brought to you by MMOculture.com. It goes on to read, Netmarble recently announced a new mobile RPG based on Disney characters, and again calling it Disney Mirrorverse. Developed by its North American subsidiary Kabam, the game is said to feature characters from Pixar 2, including The Incredibles, Monsters Inc., and Toy Story. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about the game and the story behind it. So we head on over to WDWNT.com, or WDW World News Today. Self-proclaimed the worldwide leader in Disney park news. That's under their title here. There really isn't a whole lot of information, but what I did gather from this news article says that players will assemble a team of powerful guardians that have been exclusively crafted and imagined for Mirrorverse. So you'll be getting some, I guess, Disney exclusives from this RPG title. And towards the bottom, it continues on. Disney Mirrorverse will soon enter regional beta testing in the Philippines. For those outside of the Philippines, make sure to go to DisneyMirrorverse.com to receive further updates. So this could be big. I don't really know. Certainly it has to do with the demographics, a certain type of people that they are trying to cater towards. Will this be another sort of RPG that combines Square Enix with Disney characters for a fairly older demographic, or will this completely be for like 10-year-olds or something like that? I don't know, but in any event, I know Disney fans comes in all shapes and sizes and ages, so in any event, if this is something that you are interested in, definitely check out their newsletter for incoming updates. So this next game I wanted to cover comes from allchar.com. Game deck reaches another stretch, might triple funding goal, and I do apologize, it is cut out from the right there. But this is a game I actually covered a few weeks ago very enthusiastically, just because I really love the aesthetics of this whole cyberpunk aesthetics, as well as the fact that it's an adventure puzzle solving game. And I know these type of games aren't necessarily the most popular game to make right now, but they were certainly more popular, in my opinion, back in the 90s, when you have games such as Myst and Riven, Sam & Max, Circle of Blood, or Broken Sword, depending on which region you are. And even though adventure puzzle-solving games isn't really necessarily my cup of tea nowadays, there's still games like this that come up that really makes me want to play it, just for, I guess, the nostalgia feeling, I suppose. Anyways, it does go on to read that Game Deck is a isometric investigation RPG where the player takes on the role of a futuristic detective who is solving crimes that span both the real and virtual world. The lack of combat might turn some players away, but the fact that Disco Elysium proved to be a massive success with a similar approach, there is no reason to doubt Game Deck's chances. So if we take a look at their official Kickstarter page, they have just under 4,000 backers, 6 days to go, and as of recording, they are just shy of $136,000. And if you scroll down, you'll see that all their stretch goals have been met. They also give you a ton of information on what the game is about, what it looks like, and yeah, it looks like a very fun, very visually stunning game, and I can't wait until this game comes out personally. And just really quick, heading on back over to MMOculture.com, Nier Reincarnation, Square Enix reveals the first in-game trailer for the new mobile title. I did cover this, I believe, a week ago, that they are developing an RPG for the mobile platform based on the Nier franchise, and I just wanted to let you know that they did release a new trailer for it. You can take a look at the trailer from their official YouTube page from Square Enix, or head on over to MMOculture.com. Heading back over to allchar.com, Warhammer Underworlds Online leaves early access today. After a successful early access period on Steam, Steel Sky Productions card game Warhammer Underworlds Online is launching today on PC. The game offers 6 warbands right now, and more are planned for a release via DLC at a later date. The developers promise to continue releasing new universal card packs for free across the lifetime of the game. This way, they want to allow players to update and diversify their decks and ready themselves for ranked play. All players will receive continued free universal cards at regular intervals, while new Warband DLC expansions will be available for purchase for $7 in the upcoming months. So, as you know, I got the trailer playing above me. Definitely looks interesting. Again, not a huge card player myself, but if you are a fan of such games such as, obviously, Magic the Gathering or even Legends of Runeterra, this might actually float your boat, especially if you are a Warhammer fan. Now, this definitely fits under the category of interesting games I never heard of, and our next news comes from MassivelyOP.com. Star Stable adds new mounted games and animal herding activities to its latest location. It goes on to read, it's time for another peek in on Star Stable's updates, with the latest one bringing new activities like lap racing, pole bending, and barrel racing, either alone or against another opponent, or daily animal retrieval for XP and Jorvik shillings. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's a horse or animal term, whatever. And as always, I have the sort of the gameplay and the trailers playing above me, but also looking at that and some of the screenshots here, and also looking at some of the photos here from their main webpage too, I can't help but wonder, this kind of feels like that game IMVU, not IMVU, but the letters IMVU. So again, going back to MassivelyOP.com by the user of Mew Mew, all these years in the game is still gender locked. It's quite on purpose though. They've always wanted to be known as the MMORPG for girls specifically, and that they feel if they gave people a male character creation options that they would sort of lose that title or what they would try to go for. So but either way, I hope this game finds much success regardless. Sticking with MassivelyOP.com, Camelot Unchained's Mark Jacobs discusses the new island and testing a slice of the game. It goes on to read, Camelot Unchained Mark Jacob has once again taken to a live stream to discuss with fans about the latest island scenario that is in testing. The discussion of the new island scenario was mostly focused on the difference between it and the Cherry Keep Siege. The video then moves on to the top 10ish, which talks about the continuing to work on pathfinding tech, work on new scenario map UI, a variety of development work regarding keeps and related scenarios, iteration on the warband group type, applying art assets to soul essence shards, and finally, further work on the devout classes. It's good to see. I'm really glad that he's keeping in touch with his player base and backers. And this is kind of interesting, but sort of for the wrong reasons. I'm not exactly sure if I could really get into it, but going back to massivelyop.com, Cartoon Network successfully shuts down FusionFall's rogue servers. And if you don't know what rogue servers are, they're just servers that host MMOs that typically have been shut down for a very long time, and they are able to allow people to play it that's not officially endorsed by the company who originally made it. It goes on to read, if you remember FusionFall, it was Cartoon Network's attempt at making its own kid-friendly MMO operating between 2009 and 2013. We took a listen to its soundtrack fairly recently. Apparently the game was enjoyed enough by the community of players that several rogue servers were put together, but now Cartoon Network has forced their shutdown thanks to a DMCA strike. So if you haven't checked out our podcast that we did with a few of my friends discussing some of the changes and the upcoming gameplay and features for Shadowlands, you could definitely check out the card that I have posted at the top. But it seems like they're still releasing information about Shadowlands. We head on over to MMORPG.com. List of the Covenant abilities for WoW Shadowlands Alpha Build 34081 made available. The latest list of World of Warcraft Covenant signature abilities for Shadowlands Alpha Build has been made available over at Wowhead. Again, heading on over to wowhead.com, you can see a very comprehensive list of all the skills that can be utilized for each class under the Covenant abilities. Sticking with MMORPG.com, just wanted to let you know ArchePass Season 3 is here. The ArchePass actually comprises of a Vocation Pass, an Equipment Pass, and Combat Pass. These will last through July 2nd, and of course each pass has a premium version of each. And just really quick, I thought IGN came out with a really interesting article. The Elder Scrolls 6 release date, gameplay, and what we know so far, which isn't really much. What I thought was really interesting that it says Bethesda's Todd Howard has indicated that the studio's focus will be on Starfield first, and then we'll shift on to Elder Scrolls 6. So it looks like we will have to just wait a bit longer. However, a job listing from Bethesda could hint that Starfield development is wrapping up, and the focus could now shift over to Elder Scrolls 6. And again, if you scroll down, they kind of go over what possibly could happen. Again, Elder Scrolls rumors, some of the things that could entail. At this point, it's just all speculation, so I'm not going to go too much into the article, but just wanted to let you know that there's some possible awesome news coming from Bethesda pretty soon, hopefully. And lastly, I always hate covering things like this. Sticking with MMORPG.com, the Japanese team for Rose Online has filed for bankruptcy. I personally never played Rose Online. I never really heard much about it. In any event, the fate of this MMO doesn't seem to be very good right now, unfortunately. And that does it for today's MMO and RPG news roundup. I do appreciate if you made it with me so far. The watch time does help with the algorithms. Hope everybody still continues to stay safe out there. Continue to be well. Have a blessed night, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers, everyone.